Okay. Rejection of colonist demands. King George III and British leaders in Parliament soundly rejected the demands of the First Continental Congress, namely to repeal the Cohesive Acts and allow the colonists to govern themselves independently. Rejection of colonists' demands. In response to the rejection of their demands by the British colony, leaders met again, this time to discuss what they should do next. All 13 colonies would be represented by elected delegates at the meeting. The meeting and those who participated in it would become known as the Second Continental Congress. The Second Continental Congress. Much like the First Continental Congress, the Second Continental Congress also met in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This time, though, they met in the Pennsylvania State House, which was then serving as Pennsylvania's capital. This building would later be renamed Independence Hall. Independence Hall facts. A historically significant building, Independence Hall is famous for several reasons. In addition to hosting the Second Continental Congress, it was also the building which would later host the Constitutional Convention in the 1787. Independence Hall was the location where both the Declaration of Independence and the United States Constitution were debated, adopted, and signed by colonial leaders. Independence Hall facts. A historically significant building, Independence Hall is famous for several reasons. Until 1976, Independence Hall was home of the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell was moved across the street to a new building called Liberty Bell Center. In this picture, you can see the Independence Hall located behind the Liberty Bell. The Liberty Bell. It is not known exactly when the Liberty Bell received the large, distinct crack on it. What is known is that on President's Day in 1846, which is celebrated every year in February on George Washington's birthday, after the bell was rung in celebration, the crack became even larger and expanded to the size it is today. The bell would never be rung again out of concern it sustained even more damage. Independence Hall facts. Today, Independence Hall is a part of the Independence Hall National Historical Park. Independence Hall has also been given the distinction of being named a World Heritage Site. A World Heritage Site is a landmark or area designated as such by the United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organizations. These sites are known for their cultural, historical, or scientific significance. Examples of other World Heritage Sites include the Egyptian pyramids, Taj Mahal, and the Grand Canyon, among others. The Olive Branch Petition. To resolve their difference with King George III and the British Parliament, the Second Continental Congress decided to try one last time to resolve their differences with King George III and the British government before declaring their independence, fully realizing that if they declared their independence from Britain, I would never patch up things with the British who passed the strongest military, who possessed the strongest military in the world at that time. I'll reread that sentence starting from right here. Declared their independence from Britain, it would mean war with the British, who possessed the strongest military in the world at that time. This last attempt was known as the Olive Branch Petition, a petition written by the Second Continental Congress, which stated that the colonists didn't want independence and desired to remain loyal to Great Britain. In addition, the petition also stated that the colonists sought fair trade, fair tax regulations, and so to settle trade disputes. The Olive Branch Petition. Upon receiving the Olive Branch Petition, the British government rejected it. Before he ever read it, King George III declared the colonists traitors. The British government declared the colonists were in rebellion and passed the proclamation of rebellion. This is the end of the PowerPoint.